Whew. That is a question for the ages. And it is something that Viola Davis struggles with, and it's something that somebody who just moved out here yesterday struggles with. We all struggle with knowing when our team has outlasted their usefulness. It's something that you really have to be honest with yourself, check in with your gut, make sure that your expectations are realistic, and have hard conversation. I think that that's really the biggest thing, is you have a hard conversation with them. I want to ask you a question. This is me talking to my reps. Where do you feel like my career is going? Are you still excited about me? What do you think I need to do in order to get to where I want to be? Do you have any suggestions about that? And taking all the information, getting as much information as you can, and making an educated an educated choice that is not moved from ego. Make sure you remove your ego and check in with yourself, and that's I think, the best way to do it. Does that resonate for you?
Yes, I've definitely had those conversations.
Okay.
I think I'm at a place where it's like, once you've had the conversations and you've gotten your answers and you've done what was suggested and it still hasn't shifted, sometimes I wonder if I'm in a place where I am because I've been so loyal to the same team for too long.
I know that feeling.
There's also the fear of clearing house and then being without representation. What does that look like? You know, so that's where I am.
What about starting the process of looking for new representation while you have current representation? And then when you find someone, doing a gut check there and saying, does this new person offer me more? Does this person excite me more about my career? I've done it many times. There's something exciting about clearing the deck. But it boils down to how you feel about it. If you've already had the conversation and there's been no change, I would say that's a pretty fair indication that it's time to move on. But I don't want to advise you cavalierly without knowing all of the details. But in my gut, I feel like when I talk to my reps about something and it doesn't change and they don't even acknowledge that it hasn't changed, that's evidence of something for me. If you want to talk about it in greater detail, we can. You're welcome. Anybody else? Talk to me.
So within, it's excellent that you broke down those three facets of being a series regular. That's something I've never heard before. Within the creative authorship portion of that work, how do you effectively deal with Black stereotypes? Because when I got here, every workshop I was in, every time I would talk to somebody who was doing something, operating on that level, you would mention it, and they just scoff at you like, oh, we're so intelligent, we can't possibly do that anymore. But when it's on the page, everywhere. Everywhere you look. And so somebody who's had as much opportunity as you to craft these characters, like how do you address that?
Do you find it sometimes in work that's been created by other Black creators?
Not as much there.
Okay.
But I just mean in the sea of content, you will come across that auditioning more than not, right?
It's interesting because when I came out publicly as gay, suddenly I was hit with a bunch of gay roles, right? Which was wonderful because one of the realities that I had to tap into in order to come out was that I feel that there's this feeling that somehow if I did play a bunch of gay characters, there'd be something wrong with that. Like suddenly, I'm not acting anymore because I'm gay and I'm playing a gay character, right? So I had to eliminate that and say, I need to evaluate these characters on an equal footing. That's number one. But what I didn't like, though, was a lot of these characters, can we talk plain in here? A lot of the characters I was being asked to audition for was to play a white woman's purse. You know what I'm saying? To play the gay guy for some white woman who's powerful and wonderful and you just reacting to her shit. You know what I mean? And so
Does that not fall under the umbrella of what I'm talking about?
it falls 100% under the umbrella of what I'm talking about. So for me, that's just a quick pass. Now, if we were back in the era of the room, I would go into the room and I would say, I love this piece. I love what y'all have going on here. I feel that this character is a little trope. I'm sorry. What do you mean? I've auditioned for this character a lot, and I feel like there's a lot of this in the culture right now, but what if I played it like, you know what, I'm not even gonna tell you, I'm gonna show you. So then I go in and I'll play the character like me, and then presumably, because I have all the creators in the same space, then they could go, oh, I love that. I love that he did that. Or they go, no, that's not at all what we need. We need that comedy beat met there, and he's not right for the part, but I've showed them who I am, and now they're thinking, wow, this actor is really strong. We got to put him in something else. So it's tough in this self-tape world because, especially if it's a co-star or guest star, if you don't give them that comedy beat or whatever moment they're looking for, because they wrote that trope for a reason. Maybe it's you're playing a big scary black man and you gotta be scary to Sarah Jessica Parker when she turns the corner. At that point, they're not gonna wanna see the college educated brother, that's the point. So for me, and you may not be in a position where you feel like you can pass, but sometimes they say your career is defined by your no's as your yeses. It's another one of those things where these questions are being asked by the top of the top to the people that just moved out here. Like, some of these issues never go away, like how to advocate for yourself. I'm sure Tom Cruise even thinks about, should I have said something? Remember when he went off on that DP? I'm sure afterwards he felt like I shouldn't have done that. So these questions plague us at